Welcome to 5 Minutes of Self-Care. Have you ever wondered why you just can't bring yourself to wash those dishes? Are you stuck somewhere between knowing that you need to take the trash out, but struggling to take the steps necessary to do it? Well, we're here to examine home care through the lens of spatial health and give you some tips on how to overcome those barriers. No, ma'am. No, sir. You're not lazy. You simply have a brain responding to different stimuli like everyone else. Now let's get into it. Today, we will be talking about a little known secret when it comes to maintaining a clutter-free home. That is having the right types of storage. Now, what does it mean to have the right types of storage? You may think I mean having the latest storage designs or perhaps the most minimal designs, but both of those guesses would be wrong. What I'm actually talking about is having the storage designs that adhere to the ways your brain, body, and lifestyle functions. And not just yours, but every brain, body, and lifestyle in your home. Let me give you an example. As you know, I run the country's only spatial health and wellness service called Self-Care Housekeeping. I had a client whose home was struggling with laundry piling up around the laundry basket. As we discussed this challenge and toured the home, the first thing I noticed was that the laundry basket wasn't full. As we continued to tour the home, I noticed other areas where items piled up around the container that the items were meant to be. Again, these containers had very little items in them. However, this wasn't an issue that was occurring consistently throughout the home, only in some areas. So I reflected on my observation. What did the areas struggling with piling up have in common with each other, but not with the areas that did not? The containers in the areas experiencing piling up were relatively, if not completely, empty. Whereas the areas where piling up was not an issue, the containers appeared to be in full use. Now, why would that be? When I reflected further on the similarities, I noticed that the containers that were being underutilized all had lids on them. The areas that were functioning well did not. And that was the last piece of the puzzle. This client's household was experiencing a breakdown with the way their brains processed information and the way their home was set up. The lids for the household created a barrier for them that was proven to interrupt key processes like putting laundry in the baskets. This could be because of an information processing breakdown, where the lids essentially turn the containers into a solid mass rather than a vessel, or it could be an executive dysfunction issue where the extra step overloaded the family's ability to complete the task. Whatever the underlying reason was, we found the cause to their challenge. So, I sat my client down and we talked about how their brains and bodies functioned in the home. We discussed how the lids created a barrier for them, creating this issue in their home. My recommendation to this client was for them to switch out their closed containers for open ones. And they did just that, and you know what? It solved the problem immediately. We handle these sorts of challenges all the time at Self-Care Housekeeping, because how we choose to be organized matters just as much as the organizing itself. Now that we have a base understanding, let's look at how we can make your home functional for you. Start by reflecting on the areas that just can't seem to stay clutter-free. This could be in your home, your office, your classroom, your locker, wherever your personal space is. Take time to observe what is happening in that area and write down each observation. Are things on the floor? Are they disheveled? Are they in a disarray? Next, examine your observations and identify which ones are causing the dysfunction. Ask yourself what happens when this disorganization occurs. Once you have a clear understanding of what's happening, you can then ask yourself, is the way I currently have this area set up functional according to my brain, body, and lifestyle? If your answer is no, then you know it's time to start exploring some other options. My recommendation for you is to explore what your brain, body, and lifestyle needs for those particular areas and the items in them. Then get to work exploring new storage options until you find the ones that fit your household. That's all for our 5 minutes of self-care today. I hope you found this little nugget of spatial healthcare valuable. If you would like to learn more about how you can improve your spatial wellness, feel free to visit us at selfcarehousekeeping.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If you are in the greater Pittsburgh or Metro Detroit areas and need an extra hand in achieving your self-care goals, our team of practitioners, from our trauma-informed housekeepers to our coaches, would love to serve you. Have a beautiful day and have a peaceful day.